Okay. I'm assuming you can all hear me. I'll just wait for the stream to catch up. Okay. I'm assuming you can all hear me. I'll just wait for the stream to catch up. Ooh. Right. So, this is what we're going to make. Where do we start? What I could do with is a one-to-one screen grab, so we know the dimensions of the screen and what we're trying to recreate. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Let's just put that. There we go, that's better. Right, good. Okay, so let's get cracking. So these, where's my dimensions going? Okay, so that is 13 by 16. So 16 by 16s they'll be. Now I do have the sprites. Hang on. I just need to turn the volume down on this thing because it's distracting. Right. I do have the sprites. I did find them online, so we can cut and paste everything from here into GameMaker, which is handy because I don't really want to make them all. And we've got some backgrounds as well. Oops, we don't. I'm not really going to make too many levels, so I think if we get the first, maybe the first level working, although get the first level working, the rest of them will work. Yeah, I've just turned the volume down, so that should be okay now, I think. It was up on my other monitor volume, so we should be fine. Okay, so I think the first thing we want to do, which we don't actually have, is these tiles here. We don't have, so they are 8 by 8, which is fine. So what we're going to do is going to make a new tile set. From there, but I need to make a new sprite first. Okay. Before I do that, we'll just change the size. Give us enough space for the tiles. I haven't used any of these inspectors yet. I'll leave them for the moment. Okay. Yeah, so these are going to be 8 by 8. I want the grid 8, 8. So I'll leave the first one blank. And 8 by 8 again. These will go over a bitmap background. It's been a while since I used tile maps actually. 8. So this will be interesting. See how much I remember. Is that the same as? Oh, it is the same as that. That's interesting. These are just mirrors, I think. Oh no, they're slightly different. 28. Is that different? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll copy each one out. So we've got them, then we'll recreate that level in GameMaker in one of the rooms. Okay. I do need the vertical as well, don't I? It's always handy having a template to copy from. Okay, so yeah, let's put the grid on this as well. That'll help us recreate it. There is actually a mode in GameMaker to make that into an actual map. Can't remember where it is. These are all things to do with the actual image editor. Shows tools. Maybe I'll have been moved by now, I suppose. It's basically to import maps and generate tile maps and maps from them. Oh, thank you very much, Windows. No thanks. It was quite handy. Obviously, we don't want it because it's got all these things on them, but I don't know where it's gone now. I don't know. I have no idea where it's gone. Unless it's part of... No. I don't know. It may not even be there anymore. Although that would seem unlikely. Because it was handy. I don't need it, so it's kind of irrelevant. Okay. So what we want to do, so 1, 2, how tall is this? 256. 8. That's 64. 16, 32 high, is that? It is. So 32 by 224. 28. So a tile map 32 by 28. 224 by 256. Let's just look at the room. 224 by 256. Howdy, Gregor. Yeah, probably. I quite enjoyed this in the home because you could get quite a good conversion from it. When you think about all the other ones that, you know, the other arcade games that got done, this translated over really well. So it was always quite a nice one. Okay, tiles. Select sprite. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. Got 8. Oops, 8. I got the first tile is always blank, so I leave it. It's quite good for collision testing. You can test it if it's not 0. If I'm leaving big empty areas, so you're always best leaving it just blank. So GameMaker kind of hard codes it blank. Anyway, okay, so we'll go back to the map, and oh, this is different. this at 1. From what we want is 2 tiles down, and then start drawing. Okay. So 2 tiles down. No, wait a minute, it's not at the bottom either, is it? 2 tiles up. Blip, blip. Pick, no. Can't remember the keys to this. There is a key for picking. I can't remember what it is. Okay. And so 2 in, 2 up. 2 in, 2 up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. 4, 5, 6, 7. Go. So you can see we can recreate the actual map pretty easily. 2 in, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5 up or 5? Yeah, 5 up. Amy Martin. Yeah, I did like the conversions. Can't remember which one I played. I've got a feeling it was the Spectrum one, not the C64 one, which was odd. Actually, it might have been a +4 version, do you know that? So I had my +4 at about this time. So I suspect it was a +4 version that I was doing. And then it was at 2, 1, 2, 3, okay. There's an easier way of doing this. What I can do is put the background on it. And then all of a sudden I just need to draw over things. So let's put the grid at 8 there. Oops. At 8 there. Okay, and now I can just draw over the top. Isn't that easier? Okay, there you go. Instant recreation. Now what we want to do is just change that. Oh, I haven't imported them yet. Hang on. So let's copy this over. Tile sets, create. So background 1. So this was just from that, big bitmap that somebody had copied and put on. I'll just cut that out and I'll paste it in here. On the hardware, the arcade hardware, this would have just been part of the tile map. And things like the where they overlap, that would have probably just been, they might have had a dual player field. But yeah, probably would have, because it's more of a picture. Otherwise you've got to kind of recreate each pixel in the corner and stuff, and I don't think they did that. These might even been sprites in the hardware, who knows. They did have lots of sprites in that. Usually you were limited by the number in a row, so who knows. Okay, back to this then. Let's change this to I'm lost. There we go. Background. Oh. Need to move it down. Can I move it down here? Oh, look at that. There you go. Instant level. Now all we need to do is get the bombs and place them. Before we do that, we will need... Let's just close some of this down. Because we don't need all this just now. I'm not getting a fan of these inspectors. They just kind of hang around. I like having a bit of free space. So we will bring in the sprites. And this is just something to be able to cut and paste from. So this is going to be a big image that's going to hold all the sprites. There we go. Again, I just found all these online. I have gone through and taken out the background colour and stuff so they're ready to be sprites. But aside from that, it's as it came. I might even have the website they came from. No. I mean, really it was just... Yeah, there they are there. There's a whole lot of other ones. You know, you want to remake games, we could do an Atari version. You want to remake games, then, you know, a quick Google to find if somebody's ripped them already is always good. Oh, hey dude, how you doing? +4 version was okay. It's alright for what it was. Could certainly have been better. Having done a little bit of fancier +4 code, and it was, you can certainly do better these days. Alright, so there's different bomb types. Now see, this is the problem, I've not actually played it very much. Not since back in the day. So just YouTube might tell me. Is that the arcade? No, looks like it. So, interestingly, that's the first level, which isn't the first level that we see. Oh well, that could be a demo mode. Yeah, so that's the first level. Let's go through all the ROM setup stuff. Blah 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 blah. We'd have loved to have written an arcade game back in the day. Lots of fun hardware. Right. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So which bomb is it? So this is the one. Oh, these are. This is the one that goes. Goes in. So what we'll do is we will create a sprite. Nice bomb. And these will likely be 16 by 16s. Yeah, so image, crop. Now, there's the 2 frames of animation, which just kind of flicks between, doesn't it? You kind of see it Just flash in between them until you pick it up and then it moves to the next one. Order will be important in those as well. But I don't have to put them down in a specific order. Yeah, it's definitely the order of the sprites is going to be important that we need to recreate. So actually that should probably be, because it flicks between two. So actually I'm going to throw that away and make a new sprite for lip balm. So balm with a fuse and 16 by 16. Okay. So it fits in 16 by 16, which is good. Obviously too fast. 10, 15. It'll do just now. Okay. So what we want to do now is make an object for our bombs. Oh, bomb. Inventive names. They don't have a fuse mechanic. That seems odd, because that's a big part of the game. Nah, they must have done. See, now I want to find out. Must have done. The flash. So it's not a lit fuse, but the bomb flashed, which is fair enough. That's really bad, isn't it? I mean, you can see why they did the bombs as characters, but I mean, they're all kind of vertical, so maybe multiplexing would have been a bit tricky. Definitely done that better on the 64. Why was Bomb Jack? Mid. '86. Yeah, it's maybe about right for '86. So, yeah, you could definitely do it better, but '86 seems about right for. Well, I just created another sprite there. That's not what I wanted. I don't like this. I want to create that type. I hate having to go looking for the type now. Really annoys me. Okay, bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. We'll worry about variables and stuff later. So, I want the player to be over the top of everything. The bombs presumably are under everything. Yeah. So bodies go under the bomb. So we'll just create a couple of layers. And I'll put the player, put the bomb in here as well. 16, 16. And, oh, actually that's going to be, to offset that a bit. Okay, we'll just do it by it because that's just the way that's positioned. It's going to be annoying. Okay. What I could do with is that background back again. Just so we can get that. Okay. So there. Oops. I will probably use creation code to sequence them because I don't like the idea of having to put them down in order. That just annoys me. Okay. Oh, hello, ZX Renew. How's it going? Right. Now, we'll have to watch how they get picked up to see the order. This isn't the best video for that because it's a long play. Come on, YouTube. Alright, so memory serves it's that one, and then down here. So let's just I do have a lot of these to do. Like I say, you could do it in order, you know, as they all get created. You could just assign them the number. I've already lost count because I'm speaking nothing on 2. And then over to here. 3. 4. 5. Yeah, you can add variables in. Can't remember how to do that, it's been a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, hi. Oh, Arbroath. I'm down, oh, not Arbroath, down at the ferry tomorrow. Arbroath's nice, as long as it's not pouring rain. You up there for anything interesting? Oh, no, it's actually down that side. Dagnabbit. Work. Bear. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, so where does it go from there? Problem is, he's not going to get them in order, is he? Oh, he is. Oh, we missed one. And then up the top. That was 10, wasn't it? It's how easily you forget. 10. 11. 12. 13. I bet it doesn't jump over there because that would be easy. Down there. Okay. Oh, and then down to that one. That was handy. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. And up to here. 20. Okay, 21. And finally, hurrah. 22. Right. Okay, still got the level. Now we're not going to use that for a wee while anyway. But that gives us our level. What we want to do first is a player and some collision to the world and get the movement right. So let's start with that. Object. Oh, player. Okay. I don't like the inspectors. I really don't. It just takes up space. Okay. Quite sure where this player starts. It's just in the middle, isn't it? Bang in the middle. Not that really matters at the moment. But, you know. Me. Okay. So let's just so it's got an X, it's got Y. Y delta. There is a gravity variable, but can't be bothered with them. Step. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to collide with the tiles, which means we want to have the player not go through the tiles, just sit on, and the head bang up against there. So when you're falling, you check underneath to make sure you don't go through, and when you're jumping, you've got to hit underneath there. You don't actually go that fast, so it's not too difficult. You just have to check the tiles, and when you're inside you've got to kind of pop yourself up and stop you falling. So that's the idea. The tile map, get rid of everything. You'll see it's quite easy to glide with. It's basically anything that's not 0 is we glide with. So pretty straightforward. Okay. So gravity is just an increasing speed and then maxing out. I'm not actually sure how fast he falls. Must be less than 8. Or you might skip. So maybe 8's the max, but we'll say 7. So you run that, you'll just see it slowly do nothing. You know what else we need to do, because we've not actually run it yet, is we just need to scale up this view because it's very small. Okay. 224, 256. Oh, hang on. Okay. Camera properties. So I want to do maybe 3, 4 times that. Which is 8, 9. It would actually be really handy if you could type in calculations to these things. There we go. Let me see what we're doing now. I need to put some backgrounds on because I'll not see anything otherwise. Okay. Oh, he's very fast. Okay, so that means we need to be a bit slower with this. Yeah, that's probably okay. Right, so now we want to do collision detection. Seems like starting fuse changes each time you die. Does it? Well, that's interesting. We'll have a look at that if we get to that point. Tile. Now, got to get time out get ID. That's the one. So we're wanting to get tiles. I'll just call that map. Now the character is 16 pixels high, so we want to get the tile. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hey look, my first spam. Hey, I've never had spam on these. There you go. Yeah, like I said, we'll I'll maybe try and find some online. There's bound to be a web version somewhere these days. We'll have a look and see. Okay, so if I delta is greater than 0, then we're falling. So if you're falling, you check under his feet. Now, technically, you should do and then the sprite that we're using, what was the sprite? See, this is the other thing I don't like. Just put it in there. S. There. Should be Jack in that just there. Okay. So yeah, you should really do that. You know, get the height of the sprite, then add that on and so on. Ah, it's such a bollock. We know it's because of the case of this. Let's do this up the top. I say, in the old days, you just add 16 on, take 16 off, whatever, but will be nice. So this puts it underneath. You can then do tile map, get that pixel, tile map element, which will be tiles, and then the X, comma, Y pos. Now, you really need to check, because he's 16 by 16, there's going to be up to 3 tiles that you need to check. So first one is under the feet on the left, then the right. So let me see if I can explain that a wee bit. I need the map for this. So when you're checking collision, you're going to take the X position, add on 16, so you're now checking this tile. You then do this tile as well, and if it's not on a boundary of 16, I'll show you how to do that in a minute, then it would be moved over by a couple of pixels into here, so you'd also have to check this tile. If he's on a boundary like that, then you only check those two. That means you can fall between gaps, basically. So we'll do this one first. T2 plus, now again, technically you would just add on 8, but so that's shift left 1 is divided by 2. Do you want me to send them your email? You can find love. Okay, so if, let's just create T3 equals 0, if X and F, which is 15, not equals 0, then we need to do another one. That'll just be a full 16 pixels over. So what's this doing? So in Power of 2 land, you're going to have 16 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you've got multiples of 16, then all the numbers are up here, and the bottom 4 bits are always 0 to go on boundaries of 16. So what this AND here does, AND it with F, these 4 bits here is equal to 15, which in hex is F. So if any of these bits are set, then you're not on a boundary of 16, which is what we're trying to test. And we're not on a boundary of 16, we need to test that extra one. So if T1 is not equal to 0, or T2 is not equal to 0, or T3 not equal to 0, then we want to stop falling. So y delta equals 0. Now we also want to move us back out. Yeah, well, we didn't have mod back then. You had to use binary for everything, and it's really handy. Once you get used to knowing where the bits are for things, you can work out a whole load of stuff. I did do an article, which I think is now part of the manual, about binary maths in GameMaker, and there's a whole load of tricks you can do with it once you know how numbers add up. So if we've got a collision there, now do we want to move up? Yeah, so if we've got a collision, then what we want to do is, bearing in mind this, for x, we need to make y go up. So let's take this again. Okay, now, oops, that's player. So if we'd, there we go. If we'd fallen in by a pixel like this, then we obviously want to move out of here, which, because they're all on boundaries, we want to basically snap to a 16 by 16 boundary. So you want to be able to push it out by however, if you've gone in a pixel, you need to move it up a pixel. You've gone in 2, you need to move it up 2. But actually what you're doing is, if you remember that fraction, you just want to take all those numbers off, because that's 1, so that's nothing to 15 here, which are all in the lower bits. Nothing to 8, big pardon, because 8 high, isn't it, these tiles? So if we're in this by any amount, then we just and removing those lower 3 bits in this case, and it would snap back up here, and that takes us out of that block, and that makes it nice and quick. I'm just going to check that. That's 16 for this. That's fine. No, it's not 16. It is 7 because they're 8 by 8s. So what we want to do is y equals y, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 2, 4, 8. So it's going to be an 8 there. Now that would be binary equivalent of lots of 1s at the top and then 3 at the bottom. Because that'd be 1, 2, 4, 8. So 8's there, and then all these would just be F, lots of F's at the top. That removes the lower 3 bits, which is 1 to 7 pixels. And that clamps us and brings us out the block. So the GameMaker has that move thing where it'll kind of keep checking collisions and stuff to move out. You don't need that. You just need to if you do things on powers of 2, you can do this. You can do it non-powers of 2, but you have to start using mods to get the bounding of it. Now in theory, oops, will that do something? There you go, and he falls on the block because it's checking that collision there, and then it's anding it and clamping to this. So you can see tile collision is really fast. Now in the old days we wouldn't do that pixel, we would just have it as character maps when we would shift it down by 8. That's down by 8. Shift by 3 to get the tile index, so it would all be really fast. Now let's put in a little bit of movement. So want to move, probably want to movement. Let's do it up here just now. I'm trying to think where the best place to do it would be. This is where it gets tricky because I can't remember. Check. VK left. There we go. Then X. Let's say 2. Right, let's say +2. Right, let's see what that does. So in theory, I should now be able to drop. There you go. Now, I haven't done any collision to the edges, so, you know, but it falls down, collides, you can move, fall off the block. Now, there's a good test in this is if we move, he should just, as he falls off, you can see it hit straight on that vertical tile. Now, we really need to put a jump in. So let's put jump. Now, there's two different modes of jumping in this, I seem to remember. There's one when you're already falling and jumping, it kind of stops you and does stuff. But in this case, we will just do if y delta is 0, then we'll start jumping. Now, the easiest thing to do for this is just to do -7. That will immediately throw us up in the air, but because of our gravity, it'll just keep taking a wee bit off and off and off as we go, and so you'll get that nice curve as you come down. Oh, minus it was. 7 might be a bit much, but we'll see. Oops. Okay, there you go. And you can see that really nice gravity curve you're doing. That's just you throw a big delta up and then it just subtracts and you get this really nice curve. A lot of games struggle with this when they're doing movement. You just don't get that, you know, nice feel to things. Oops, I'm now sitting on top of that map. Yeah, you keep pressing it if you're in the air, don't you? And you just kind of hover or something. But you've got to keep pressing the key, if I remember correctly. I can't quite remember. I'll need to check the... yeah, there you go. See, that kind of goes through. You've got to just hit it just right. Oops. Alright. Now, I did notice on the video that he was able to jump up the whole length of the game. So is that kind of glide up, is it? I really need to be able to play it to see. Because I didn't think it could go that high. Yeah, so he just kind of keeps going up, doesn't he? A full height jump is done by pushing up and jump. Alright, so you just hit your maximum speed and you just kind of keep going up. Now, I did notice the maximum speed isn't very fast. It's not as fast as I've done it, so maybe need to work on that. Okay, so let's do the collision for going up. So... now, going up is basically the same thing, but we're just checking the tile directly above. So that's just a pixel above where the player is. So we just want to do -1. That gets us into the tile map just above. So everything else is the same. Because obviously if you're going up, you want that. Now the difference here is it clamps it and that will move it to the top. So we need to do that and then add 8 on, because we're coming down to underneath the tile. If you're a pixel into the tile, let's go back to this again, and let's do, so if you're a pixel into the tile, then your positioning is your boundaries here and then you're 7 pixels down. So anding it off and getting rid of those 7 pixels puts you up to there, because it clears these extra pixels down, snaps you up to there, then you have to add 8 to get you underneath again. Okay. Wait a minute, that's not what I wanted. So yeah, if we're going up, then we need to check this one. Okay. Oh, it's kind of hitting there, isn't it? Too early. Well, interestingly, it is. That's just because I'm holding space, so it kind of sticks. You would normally debounce the keys. Don't know why it's hitting there. That's interesting. Everything else should be the same. I'm just trying to see where we are. Right. 7, 9. Don't know, it's doing that. Let's debounce this. So check press should just be kind of once. And that looks like a full 8 pixels. Oh, maybe it's because I'm already doing one. I'm not actually waiting to check if it's inside. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Okay, so now we need to do left and right. Okay, so left and right's basically the same, except you're doing it on X, so you're doing a vertical column instead of a horizontal one. So we're going to do a Y pause. I don't need to do that, you just want to check. You could check if you're actually moving left, which once we start getting animations in and you know that the character's going left, you could put a check in here to go, are you actually moving left, in which case check the left column. But again, we'll not worry too much about that. So left is like going up, because it's that edge where the character is. If the pixel itself is in the block, then SH. Then you want to stop it and clamp it back out again. And again, if the Y position is not even, you're going to have to check that extra column as well. And then you clamp on. Yeah, so again, like going up, because you're already in the block, it's clamping down, you've got to add 8 onto it again. So same kind of thing. So let me just double check this. X, 1, 2, 2, 5, Y. don't need to do that. I just want to stop it moving. Now, you really want to do this after the movement, because this will take it in and you might actually see it. So I'm not quite sure where to do the collision for these. It's kind of half split. Ooh. Yeah, see, that's going a bit funny. So I'm a 0, so let's check on left. Oh, that needs +8. Whoa. Okay. Might be getting the extra tile when it's falling down. Yeah, I've got a feeling that it's colliding. Tactics or Y post. No. Oh, sorry, good spot. I might still have the same issue, but yeah. Cut and paste kid. Yeah, listen to Sid music because everything else is copyright. You end up getting your audio blanked, which is a pain in the bum. Okay. There we go. Now, so now I can jump and then I can't move. That's interesting. I can't jump while I'm moving. So I must be colliding with something. Or I've got an L strong or something. Left, right. Oh, that's an else. You can only move left or right, but you can jump at any time. So there we go. So there, I can't move. There we go. Right. So now I want to check right. Now this is like the other one where you've got to add on the width. Just do that. And then when you and it, you just take it back. Oh, I just ended up. That's what happens when you cut and paste. Right. Plus nothing. Plus, no, hang on. SW. 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 Sprite width. Yeah. There we go. There you go. That'll be rock solid collision. As long as you're not going faster than the 8 pixels, you'll never get through a wall. You've got that lovely kind of arcade jump. Boing. That was very satisfying. There you get that initial bit. Boing, boing, boing. Right, let's put in the fuse bombs because they're there. So, I mean, that's all the collision stuff is, and that's giving you a very solid platformer. You know, I mean, like I say, it's giving you nice smooth movement. You're never going to go through a wall. It's always going to be rock solid, colliding with things, and it's very fast. It's not like the old one where you collide with sprites, bitmap tiles and all that kind of crap. These are very quick because it's not really doing any kind of math stuff there. All you've got is a kind of an and now and again, and the occasional add. That's doing a divide by 2. You know, you could store it at the top if you really wanted to, but if you're really worried about speed, you would just put in 8, and then it'd be an integer that's adding on, so it's very quick. But most of our work's going to be in here, I suspect, to get those different modes of jumping, and then you've got the collision. It's interesting. Collision, you kind of want to split on this one. Normally you would do move and then collide, but I'm not quite confident in the delta when you start jumping, how things would move, because you would have moved the Y. So I feel safer doing the Y collision after you've done that, and then that kind of flags for the next time rather than now. Okay, so let's do the bomb. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so when the create events come, they come before, don't they? So what we need to do is, I normally have a controller that sets all these things up. I mean, we could just do it in here, couldn't we? So we'll probably shift this to a controller at some point, but for now we'll set global variable, and then in the step sec we'll image index, sprite index, isn't it? I never liked how image index and sprite index are always kind of similar. I really like that. Okay. One should fizz. There you go. Looks a bit too quick, doesn't it? Yeah, I think they've got a bit of colour cycling in there as well. They've only got the sprites. Might even make some of them transparent to get more of an animation. See, I'm wondering if the yellows are different frames. So, you know. It's like that kind of thing. And then they kind of flash as well. Yellow might actually be better, to be honest. It's more of a fuse. You think? Red then yellow then. Okay. Crap. We've actually got... We've actually got loads. Like I say, they might just randomise, they could, have a big thing of tables just so they're all different. And then make some of the colours transparent. Because usually on these machines, you could set what is transparent, so you'd be able to change all these and make them go away and everything. So they're just going to randomly flash them all. Black, red, black, orange, black, yellow, yeah. I think what I'll do, just because what we're after is just kind of random stuff really. I don't really care about the I'm just going to make random ones, and then that'll do for what we are caring about. We just want a few frames really. I mean, that'll do. So if you want to make a perfect one, you could follow the frames and just make animations of everything, but that's close enough. There you go. Who knew? Right, so now we want to pick them up, which should be easy enough. We just go player, collision, bomb. Okay, so other dot. I thought we didn't even do that, did we? Bomb index. Instance destroy other. Is that what I need to do? Apparently so. Oh. Of course. If other dot index equals that. Now, what we will need to do here is go looking for the next index, because we may have picked up some of the other ones. So yeah, see there, it's like we've kind of lost it now. I need to put restart key in just so we can. Oh, I missed an index out. No, it should go over there, shouldn't it? What have I done? What have I done? Creation code index 6, index 7. Okay. 4. Okay, nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4. We've just not made that one. Yeah. That's the problem with these, where you've got to do it manually. It's always that danger. You just mess it up. It's always better to kind of do it if you can, automate it. Way. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There you go. Hey, we're done. I'm saving about the random fuse. Yeah. I didn't want to point it out, but yeah. Now, obviously, when you pick these up, you get a score. So we'll probably need to do the character set. which is in here somewhere. There we go. Ah, it's laid out horribly. I'm tempted just to print something just now. Because nobody really wants to see me cutting and pasting a whole font. So you got lives and then side one. Is Bombjack a 2-player simultaneous? Ooh. Bombjack twin. Take turns. So they did one later that was a twin. Although that might have been not an arcade, of course. So it's definitely a turn take. Okay. Bombjack 2. Oh, okay. Definitely feels like one that you could do a 2-player with. Be a nice internet game. Oh, Bombjack 2 is trying to put a bit of perspective in it. Arcade. Okay, that's whatever. Don't really need to care about that. So, side one. I'm going to cheat and how can I do this easily? Now with the other one there. That underneath. Hey! It just prints all that stuff. Okay. So now what I want to do is just rub this out. And I only need to do that font. I do need to do the finding the next one. And then I'll have to do the jump properly. And then you get onto the baddies, I suppose. Well, I'll have to do the sprite for the player, I suppose. I did think about doing it, but somebody's done a Bombjack cover on the next. I remember somebody doing that because it just fits 256 high, just fits in the tile map. I'm pretty sure somebody's done that. There you go. They've cheated, they put it down the side. Oh, it's not very quick though. You might find the multiplayer, okay. I'll do that in my spare time, will I? You might find that RAMs thing that the Rusty Pixels guy does, might play the actual ROM, which would be quite cool. Okay, so sprites, tile. Let's just duplicate that. Alright, so for the moment we'll do that. Oh, high score, round one, blah blah blah. Right, that's fine. Don't care about that. Let's done that again. Why are you doing that? Right. There we go. No, hang on. It's the individuals on this one, isn't it? So 8 by 8. What have you done? Still not done it. What the hell are you doing? 8. Right. For goodness sake. Oh, okay. 93. Yeah, that was a while ago. Okay, so let's copy these over. I'm not going to do the whole font, but numbers I can do. It's not too bad. What I'll do is, before I do part 2 of this, if we get to part 2, I'll copy all the stuff over, the sprites and everything, so that folk aren't just sitting me watching me cut and paste, because nobody wants to see that. Okay. Now I want to color place. There's a way of doing this all in one go. Color move. There you go. So you can mark multiple things and it applies to all of them. Okay, so player. Sprite font. I can never remember how to make sprite fonts. Sprite create font? No. Sprite add. I can't remember. Font. Add sprite. Let's check the manual. So that's going to be S font. Font X, that's the one. Okay, so this is going to be the other thing I want to do with my font, which is always a good thing to do, change it all to white. So same again, there's a colour replace. Whatever colour you pick will change to whatever that colour is. That means you can colour tint. So you can have a font any colour, just as long as you make it all white. Okay, so let's go into draw. So obviously want to draw that, and then draw set font, font, draw set color, right, draw text, let's do that 32, 8, nothing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oh. Wrong number of arguments, what have I missed? Font, map string, proportional, set. Okay, it's not really. Wrong number of arguments. It literally says it there. 4. Oh. Dope. There we go. Hey, and there's our font. So now we can draw it's a built-in, isn't it? Okay. Now, Bombjack score is aligned to here. So we want to do right alignment from there. Draw set H align. And this is another one I've always got to look up. FA right. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Eight, maybe. One more probably. I also don't want it to be proportional. There we go. Instant game font. Okay, so now when we pick up a bomb, we'll need to score it properly. So, Bombjack scoring. There's bonuses as well. That doesn't really tell me very much. No. Anybody any idea what the scores are? Scoring. There we go. Jumping, hitting a wall, or falling from a platform. What? You get scores just for moving about. Oh, let's find that. No, you don't. Oh, that's not playing, is it? Okay, so to find when the game actually starts. Okay. There we go. What you do? Every time you jump, you get this. You get a score. That's bizarre. Wow. Every time. Wow. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. That scoring's nuts. That's just stupid. Plus bonus multiplier. Bloody hell. So that's the things you can pick up. Bloody hell. Alright, let's just do normal scoring. Jumping, hitting a wall, or falling from a platform. Jeez. Okay. Okay. That's stupid. Stupid. Yeah. Does the bonus... Yeah, I'm not doing the dip switches. Does the bonus last for a length of time, or is it like the length of the level? Yeah, I'm not doing dip switches. Okay, so let's... So, my delta, we're on a platform. So hitting a wall. So presumably if you move left and right against the wall as you fall, you are going to just rack up score. Is that what you mean by the glitch? Hovering off a wall, yeah. That's just nuts. Falling. Smash the hover button. I'll presumably smash the hover button and then move to the left so you're hitting the wall. That would probably do it. I'm not particularly worried if I don't implement this properly because it's stupid. It's totally stupid. Yeah, wiggle left and right, yeah. So you're hitting the wall each time. That makes kind of sense. Well, sense in a stupid way, because it's stupid. Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do script. This means if I get a bonus, I can just apply it without changing all the other code later. So these are bookmarks if you've never used them. It means you can jump back and forward to the code pretty quickly. Like, it'll just take me back and forward. So I can jump through different bits and you get 10 bookmarks. Okay, so if you hit a wall, totally stupid. This goes against my better judgment. When you hit a platform, does it hit a platform? Hitting a wall, well, presumably that's hitting the roof of a platform as well, because that's a wall. Fuck it. Like I say, I'm not going to try and recreate this stupid collision, stupid scoring perfectly. I don't. It's nuts. And then. So stupid. Oh, I thought I took this score out. I did take that score out. Okay. It's going up in 10, so it's obviously hitting something. Oh, it's because it's. Yeah. Yeah. I mentioned how stupid this is. Yeah, you need to get one for falling off there, don't you? But it's just so stupid. Oh, that was interesting. Oh, yeah. I've not done those ones yet. So stupid. Well, yeah, GameInADay lets you do both, but that's a bad idea. Wow, that's close enough. Fuck it. It's just annoyed me. So what was it for picking a bomb up? Normal bomb 100, then a multiplier. Is everything times a multiplier? No, that's just straight. Fire bomb 20 times multiplier. Okay. It's 200, wasn't it? Oh, no, 200, yeah. Close enough. Okay. That's so stupid. That really annoys me. Let's go for doing that. Who the hell thought that was a good idea? It really annoys me. It really annoys me. Dear. Dummy. So there's a high score in there, isn't there? Yeah. What you really want to do is how do you manager let so see, what I normally do is have this initialization thing where I put all the one-off stuff into, because this should really just be game stuff. That's not really making you sit in that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so that's making that. So now what we can do is G high score. Now bomb index should be initialized each time it starts. So that's okay there. That will be the wrong size. So when you do this with initialization, you have to make sure that your sizes, you know, your viewports and everything match, because the first room dictates the window size. 224256, 24256, 24256, and 896, 896, 124. Okay. And controller. So you shouldn't really see this, I should just go straight into the game. Oh, it's not, it's because I forgot to enable. There we go. So I now have a high score. So I can set the high score to that 10,000. Like that. Although what we'll do is we'll set it to 500 for now. And then the player, we will draw 256 minus 224 56 minus 8, because we're right at the bottom. Okay. I have to blank that out. So dummy. There we go, high score. Now, step, sticks it at 500, and there you go. So that score now climbs whenever you score. And the stupid jumping that it is. Okay. What we should do is we should put in the player sprites. I don't blame Miss Becky for not doing it. It's the most stupid. You shouldn't even get some for jumping. You should get stuff for picking things up, maybe killing baddies, bonuses. Jumping is just stupid. Stupid. Okay. Let's put in. So we've got Jack will just be the static one. So let's do him first. So left, right, fall. So that'll be him standing on a platform, basically. Jack stand. Right. Not sure what these are for. Is it dying? What are these ones for? So that's probably the dying. He starts there and starts diving in, hits the ground and kind of tumbles. I'm going to check the frame for that. That's jumping up, coming at the top, coming to a halt. He dances when he wings. So what these are? Kind of dancing when you win. Yeah, he kind of tumbles, doesn't he? Oh, he's got different things from when he's falling. Different frames from when he's falling, and yeah. It's got that kind of angled thing. Okay. So I think that one looks like the fall to the right. Fall to the left. Then this might be moving. Well, his cloak's not kind of up though. I thought his cloak would be up. No, it's not. That's a bit weird. Surely if you're falling, your cloak should be kind of up and falling, but it's not really, it's just at the side. There is that animation as well for when you pick up the bombs. And I think it's like a colour cycling animation, isn't it? Because we don't have... Oh no, we've got those. Oh, what's that frame? That could be this one. Nah, not really. Where's that? I don't know. Let's pick it up. It goes to that weird. It's actually like a bit of the sprite. It's not in the sheets. And to 200. It's the one that's next to the bell. Bell? Oh yeah, okay, I see it. So that should be black. And that should be white. Yeah, these will all be wrong palettes because of the way it's done. Okay, so it's going there, there, there. I don't know where this one is. I didn't see that at all. It goes straight to the other one. And then the score. Okay. Well, why don't we do that first? Just because that'll be a bit easier to, it gives you a nice visualization. Yes, okay, so we'll need to it's funny I don't have that one. I don't know what speed it actually goes at. Wasn't paying attention. It's actually quite quick, isn't it? Oh, for goodness sake. Pressing the wrong key. Oh, see, now that's got that frame. I wonder if the video's just not recorded it. Or is it only the flash ones have that little red thing and it's a fuse and the other ones don't? It's so quick, you wouldn't really notice. It is though. How weird's that? Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it? Because it's so fast and the character covers it. So you're not even really noticing it when it's at full speed. It's just... you just don't even notice. I wonder why that is. There must have been a reason for it, because it's too fine detail for it to be a design choice, because you just don't notice. But we'll do that because we can put in that 200 thing into its part of the sprite if we do that. Normally it's a yes, but in the case where it's actually covered and you can't see it, it's hard to say that's the case. Just checking to see if it's... I think there's a pause. Between picking it up and it going to the 200. Oh no, goes straight to the 200. It stays there for a while. Okay. We'll see what it does. We can always add more in. Alright, so we just need to know when we're picked up. And then you can do an animation end. You can kill it. So what we do now is on collision with a bomb, you can set other dot sprite index equals bomb pickup fuse bomb pickup. Nope. Tap false. Tap. What was the error? Flows. What's that? O-bomb. Create. Oh, O-bomb. Duh. Duh. Okay. Oh, no, I've changed the name of that. So that's in player. S-Jack stand. I do wish it would refactor better. Okay, that's not done anything. Oh, because I destroyed it. You know, I don't want to destroy it. So if I've already picked it up, just quit, we don't really care. I'm not going to kill it anymore. Okay. There we go. Although, wrong ones. Oh, I've done it the other way about. Okay. There we go. Bling, bling. Okay, so now we do play movement. Okay, so we now want to get the different characters in for jumping and kind of moving left and right and stuff. So, back to this. And we now want, I'm actually going to make a new folder. Oh, we're groups now, are we? Okay. Player. How many are we talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, only 4 frames. Okay. I'm not totally convinced. I really need to see, actually have a, yeah, it might be. I really need to be able to play it so I can just run about. It's so fast, you just can't tell. It just doesn't look right at all. And what the hell? Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with what's there in the order because I really don't. I don't know what the order is. Hand. I mean, it's. Yeah, I don't know. I think they cycle them so fast. It's just hard to tell. So I think we'll do what they do. We'll just have a fast animation. I don't know. Who knows? So jump is this one. Fall is that. I don't know if let's just slow down, that kind of changes. That was kind of hard to tell. Nah, see, it's just a straight change. It's like up or down. That must be part of the some of the other animations. Right, we'll get these two in for falling. Okay. Right, so we've got all the frames. As weird as they are. The flat feet is jumping up. Then it's falling. The one with the feet angled is him landing. Does he actually have a frame for when he's jumping? He goes into the ground by a pixel. Oh, that's interesting. So that one. Or is that just because he's moved up out the box? Oh, for goodness sake. So I get one of them. No, it just seems to go straight to it. I know it was the other frame, but I don't think it's oh yeah, Jim. Yes, they do. Fucking pain in the arse. Angle feet is landing. Yeah, maybe. But it does kind of do it before it takes off again. I don't know. Let's put in the basic one and then I'll worry about that later. So always falling at the start. Okay. And it's not equal to jack fall. Now some of these are only a frame in size, but it does mean technically you could. So if you kept setting them, it would keep resetting the frame. But it does mean you could put an animation on them later if you wanted. I could hold the previous direction instead of checking the animation. Well, just the direction flag rather than state. So just as I move to a direction, I'll keep setting that, and then this will make sure it doesn't kind of reset the animation each time. And then when I'm not pressing anything, I'll check to see if it's falling or just kind of standing. If I'm falling, there will be different states for if you're falling, because there is those other animations for falling as well, and they'll kind of slot in there. jumping. Sorry, let's see what happens. So we've got, I need to do a state where he's just standing. And the jump's not quite right. What was setting up just now? Hang on. 2 hours 25 minutes we've been on doing this from scratch. Okay. So fall on platform. So that's yeah, somebody mentioned that, Jim. I've still got to put that in there. So that would be, we've landed, equals dot standing stand. We've got a stand, so we can do that one. Yeah, I do have the left and right. I can just check the delta. That's what I was doing here. So if you're falling, then I can check to see which way you're going. So based on whether you're going up or going down, I can set the right frames for that. But I don't think the falling's right. Oh, we didn't actually. That should be. So, that's so falling looks okay actually. So I just got to do the jump. Jump's not right. Actually, y delta must be 0 because it's already 0 there. Jump. There you go. So now I want to do when moving left and right while jumping, do the other frames. Yeah, this one's pretty easy though when you get down to it. I do have a Boulder Dash one that I've half written as well, and that was done in like 2 hours as well. In fact, an hour and a half. So, right, so think was fall left. That was this one, wasn't it? Yeah. I still think his cloak should be up if he's fallen left. I think it's particularly good. Although maybe they've done it because it's just not got space, but surely you could do a bit of white up there. Give the impression. Otherwise, oh. There we go. Fall right. Oh. Yeah, I could do, but that's, you know, something for the reader. Okay, so now what I want to do is, if you're falling, so if delta is greater than 0, and you want to fall left, fall right. You could do all this with tables, obviously, but for just throwing this kind of stuff in, it's just easier like this, quicker. Now, one thing we do have to do is, if we're not moving at all, oh, for goodness sake, could you just move? So if we're not moving, then we want to put it back to just falling. Yeah, I'll be doing that in a second, just once I've got the basics. He's actually falling too quick. He's doing it though. So I need to do one for going up as well. I don't know what frame it is for going up. It doesn't actually. Oh, almost had it there, didn't I? It's such a long video, it goes back really far, every kind of pixel. There we go. What the hell frame is that? What? This one. Oops. Okay, that would make sense. When did I just pick up? Left. artwork in this just really isn't that good. I've missed a pixel, haven't I? There we go. Missed this pixel off the end. Okay. You can see from there that bookmark thing, you can just jump back to where you were. So handy. So that's going right. So now we want to do it if you're going up. Jump right. Jump left. I've not done these ones yet. Left, jump, right. And then again, if we don't have any of those and he's going up and jump. There's a thing of beauty. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Oh, he's not doing it, is he? Oh, forgot to put the animation in. Yeah. Hey. There we go. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Alright, so I do still have to do the flashing thing to find the next one in order. We're going to have curly braces wars, are we? Bloop. Hey. That looks about right. Like I say, he's actually jumping too fast, I think. I think we put the gravity a little bit less and not quite as fast. Might just stick this into here. The reason I'm using the macro instead of constant is it goes a nice colour. So jump, jump, jump. I think the speed's probably about right, but it's just... Oh, that should be a bit better, isn't it? It's a bit more floaty. That looks a bit nicer. You know something? See, it's rectangular just now. I think this is one of the few cases where I want to use bitmap. A bitmap collision in GameMaker does do bounding blocks first. So it's not too, no, it's not terrible. I actually want slow per frame on this. Wish there was a way to just go change all these. We were going to add in an Excel mode at one point. I don't know if Russell's still planning it. So you could just see them all in block change, heaps of stuff. Which is particularly useful if you're trying to do this and just change them all to the same thing. I just noticed when I was picking up the bomb, I was still quite a bit away from it, just depending on the frame, there was space. The hardware on these machines would have had sprite-to-sprite collision, so you got nice collision on stuff. Or they would have reduced the collision down into the ball a bit more, which you could do as well, but I mean, machines are fast these days, so you know. Yeah, see, that's a wee bit. You're actually hitting the thing now. Actually feels much better, you know. Yeah, you missed that one. Unless you're right on the edge. Oh! So you need to put it in space now so you stop your falling. Hey! It's not really, just you've got to be right at the end to be able to get it. I need a reset key, that's what I need. Let me just put that in because it's handy. Yeah, I'll still do the two different jump types. There we go. So, oh, well, that was interesting. I saw that because it wasn't dead yet. I haven't got checks for setting the fuse when something's already been picked up. So you can, in theory, do that and it swaps over. But that's easy enough to check. So we do need to do the fuse thing, so let's do that now. That's on collision. So in here, do with bomb F picked up. So if I haven't picked it up, so what we're looking for is the next smallest index. So local variable, oh, it's been so long since I've done this. The smallest is greater than index, and the smallest equals index. So instead of just incrementing it, you now just set it to smallest. But we do want to do that up here now, so that it sets it for this one, then we don't pick that one up again. Okay, so let's pick up a few of these. There we go. So I'll pick up a whole load of them. Let's do that again. So then it should jump to that one. There we go. Up to there. There. Cool. Bloop. Okay. Looks about right. Right. How does it know which bomb's loaded? So, you weren't here for the start. So, quickly recap then. So, here's our level. Okay. Each bomb is a sprite, an object on its own, and then inside the creation code, everyone's got its own little unique index. So you just go around numbering them all so they're in the right sequence. And then when we collide with any of them, we basically loop through all the bombs, finding the next smallest one because you might pick them up out of order. So if you're on index 0 and you've picked up 1 to 5, it'll loop round and it'll find 6 and it'll set that to the next one. Yeah, basically manual numbering. And then the bomb itself will set itself to fuse if it's the same as that and it's not already in kind of fuse, so it doesn't keep resetting the animation. And there's a pickup mode, so when you pick it up, it does that little explosion and assigns a number, like the score number to it. So at the end of the animation of when it's blown up, it'll kill itself. So the bombs are really straightforward. So there's not much to it, I have to say. You know, it's the hardest bit's obviously the player itself, and the scoring is nuts. If you weren't here for that, where is it here? This is just crazy scoring. So you get points for jumping, points for hitting a platform, or falling, points for... Oh, it's just stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. And then you've got the bonus multipliers and stuff that appear. So, I mean, really, the next thing we need to do is... You could add lives and stuff. They're fairly easy. So I've obviously got most of it, but we need to start putting baddies in so that we get hit and we die, and you do the die sequence, and then you've got to restart the player and so on. So we've bits to do there. I want to go to the next step. The bombs actually all start as regular bombs, and then the list order starts with the first bomb you pick up. I'm not sure I follow that. So you're saying if you picked up a bomb halfway through, then it would start from there and number round. So that one, so it's the next one it actually starts on. Okay. I'm not too fussed with that at the moment. That wouldn't be too complicated, because you're basically just knowing how many are there, take that number and start at that one. So that's, yeah, that'd be fairly straightforward. Yeah, I could do. But I think the next thing would be to get the baddies in. Not quite sure how they work. Again, it'd be nice to have a little arcade. It's got to be on there somewhere. online meme, you gotta love it. I'd use this with the Frogger game actually, it's super useful. Yeah, I thought there probably would be. Otherwise it could be anywhere. How do you add coins? Net play. So how do I put a coin in? Oh. I don't know what jump is. Oh, there we go. That's very much easier. Right, okay. I do have to do that star sequence as well. Yeah, so you've got that. Speed actually looks okay. I've got to do that big long jump. It's actually pretty well timed. Oh no, it's not. It's if you don't keep pressing up, then you stop jumping. So you don't have to press space. Don't have to press jump, but you have to press up. Ooh. Hey, okay. I should probably put those in. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I need to put in that thingy mode, don't I? The yeah. So if you're jumping, keyboard check space. So if it's 0, you just jump up. If it's already jumping, it's anything, isn't it? It just kills the yeah, left and right's quite slow. That might annoy me a bit, but we'll do that. I think I'm doing 2, so we'll half it. I think it's more than just 0. I think there's a little pause when you kind of start falling as well, because it seems to fall a bit quick. Either that, again, my gravity is not great. You can go pretty horizontal on this one. There is a... You don't make this bigger. That one? Okay. I mean, it's just... It does stop it immediately, doesn't it? I think it's just my gravity is just a bit heavier again. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I might need to build up. Yeah, it just looks like it's... I'm kind of doing fractions, but I've got a feeling theirs are kind of whole lengths, so it's just takes a while to get faster. I think the ROM, that probably be tricky to repo that. We'll just stick it to that. Oh, no, that's not going to work. I'll stick it to that for the moment. Oh, that's not. That's what I meant. I don't know. I mean, you can obviously do it really slow. I think you'd have to measure it and actually time it to say, unless you've got the ROM. Like I really want to get a baddie in. What time is it? I've got a wee bit of time left. Yeah, I kind of want to get a baddie in. So, how do they work? They kind of walk left and right a bit and then drop, don't they? I suspect the gravity is all integer based, but there's a delay in frames for when they start to move. So it's like they hit 3 directions. I don't know what they there we go. 2, 3, 4. They're just homing things, aren't they? They're just different speed of homing in on you. Some of them with a little bit of bounce. Okay, let's do the wee walking guy first. Yeah. Well, the first one seemed to be like it would turn around 3 times and the next time it would fall off. So did it just flip round, or was I imagining things when I saw a turn animation? He's got a turning frame. They must do the stand one for the actual turn. 3 frames of animation. Okay. Great. Walker left. wonder if it wants to duplicate that one. Looks alright. Where's that pixel? Have I taken away pixel? No. That seems odd. Okay, whatever. And that's not left, that's right. Prefer my version. Don't know if that's good or bad. Crate. Right. Yes, Walker. Left. I don't like that flashing dot. That looks a bit crap. Well, at the moment I'm just using the other the arcade sprites, so they're not there. But you know, somebody certainly could. I mean, they do have lots of frames for other things. It is odd, isn't it? That looks exactly the same. I suspect when he gets to the end, he takes a frame to change direction, so they just point him straight ahead, and you get that kind of turning. It is correct. Yeah, that's a bit crap. Yeah, the bouncing off the thing will just be again a little bit of inertia. So when it hits, you just flip the inertia down and they'll just bob along. But it's nice to see. And presumably that one is when they're falling. I like the wee robot, he's quite cool. Does it? Oh yeah. That's quite nice. It's not slow animation, it's actually quite a quick animation between them. Yes, apart from his blinking eye picture, which is really stupid. Oh, what the hell? Okay, that's not right. Didn't look like that. Oh, it does. His head bounces away. I think perhaps it should be down a bit. Instead of that, should be that. Yeah, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? So the body's not moving, it's just the kind of head bobbling away. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time a game dev's done that. Okay. So let's make a walker. Now, like you say, they do spawn in specific places, don't they? So let's create probably for each type as well. It's always handy to have a kind of visualization of things. So even if it's, you know, what I could do is I could actually put the walker down and have it create and destroy itself straight away. That would probably work. Yeah, just add itself into a list of spawn points. I don't know where else they spawn, but for now we'll just say there. So yeah, so what we want to do is player. Hang on, this is just going to be a bit. So I need another few. So on create. Okay. So this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Because what I need is the instance create order, which is usually in there. I can't quite remember the order they create in the room, you know, if it goes from bottom to top or top to bottom. Can't quite remember. Okay, just to save sanity at the moment, what I'm going to do is create a special type. I don't actually need that because I can just use the stand frame. And then I can put the spawn for that, and then all they do is top create first, is it? Yeah. That's it. They have documented the event order now, haven't they? Well, it's within the... I don't know which layer is created first, if it's top to bottom or bottom to top, because then you've got the instances within each layer. Inside each layer, the instance list is created in order, but I don't know when it comes to layers which one's created. There's sequence create. No, that's sequences. Nah, it doesn't matter. I can get around it. So as long as I've got one, see that's stuttering a little bit. Okay. So what I can do is on room end, I can reset this and it would work fine. So player other. Again, at room start, I think everything's created. I can't remember, but certainly room end, that would be fine. I'll just reset it, and then that means when we first spawn, I can add myself into here. Length. That's all I'm needing, and then I can do instance destroy. Okay. Now let's put a timer in. Obviously pick randomly from these. If you've got a big long list of them, you could just get the length 5x2 and just randomly pick a spawn point or cycle through them, whatever is best. but because there's only one at the moment, baddies, wasn't it? Baddies. I hate how the inspector hangs around. Walker. Pass that stuff now. I knew that was coming. I didn't know they'd actually done it. That's good. So, alarm. Wait a second. So, boop, there you go. Then you can start walking. Although that was created in an object, they're global. You can use them wherever. A lot of the time I'll do scripts that just contain all of the enums, so it's... my keyboard is a clicky keyboard. I'd point it, but then the camera would be... It's a pain in the ass getting the camera back. It's just a noisy clicky one. Yeah, I like my clicky keyboard. Actually, I want to go right first. Okay. So pause. Pause half a second. Yeah, again, just because that's what you're getting back, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the order things are created in. It could have a loop that goes backwards, or they could be stored out of order, and then when you ask for them, it orders them. I can't remember. It's always good not to depend on those things. So just if we want a little pause, we can just stop them and do whatever we want to do. What time is it? Right, I'm going to give myself 15 minutes to get him walking. Maybe not falling, but we'll get him walking left and right. So yeah, I'm away to bed in a minute as well. Catch you later. I've only got about another 15 minutes, I think, then I'm calling it a day. That. Now, this is where we get a bit more interesting, because we want to do this collision stuff again. So we're going to the right. So what we're wanting to do is, we're going to assume we're on a tile. We also want to do a counter of where it will pace back and forward for a certain amount of time before just walking off the edge. So I want to do Y one first rather than X. Let's take this away first. we will need that for when he's on the ground and he's going to be walking back and forward. Does he not? He turns into something else when he hits the ground, doesn't he? So it's this one we're wanting. So what we're doing here again is getting the tiles. Now if we get to the edge of a tile, that is when it's 0. So we'll need this for when we are about to fall off, but do I ever need that one for him? Yes, when you turn left. When you're going left, you need it. When you're going right, no. I'm not so fussed. Okay, so when he walks to the right, when he gets to this being 0, so that's on a boundary of 8, he's going to check to see if these two are set and that one's not. So actually, I always want that to be done. Walker. They're all the same size. I should just put in 16 and I've done with it. Because it's the same for everything. Oh, that's a macro, I don't want to do that. That's I really can't be bothered doing all these all the time. Let's take that out. Okay. So I guess 3 tiles underneath. So if T1 is 0 is not equal to 0 and T2 is not equal to 0 and T3 is equal to 0, and X and 7 equals 0. So if you're standing on 2 blocks, the block to the right is 0 and you're on the bounding block, then we're going to do that turnaround and do a pace. So that means we're going to do a direction of stand. So I also want to know the previous direction. Right. So what this does, so I work out in my head, is we set direction to stand, so that'll give us a facing frame for a single frame. All the time, just want to remember. And then when we come to process that, we can look at what the previous direction was and flip it. We could do next direction, so we just store it. meh. So swap brand. So else left minus speed. So now going backwards, it should be T2 and T3. So I want to do is that right? Might not actually be right on the player actually. Maybe should have checked the other direction. No. I mean, folk hack these things all the time, I guess. After my last Rockstar run-in, I'm just avoiding GTA stuff. Yeah, it can be a bit of a shit sometimes. So 0 0 1 minus. So 1 2 3 and 1. So that should be the one to the left of the player is 0. Kind of. Okay, so if redirection equals, yeah, it's just easy to do next direction because that's what it is. This is left, so I'm going to be going right. I'm going to be left. So, if you're standing, all you're going to be doing is direction equals next direction. That'll be about it, really. And then, I'm just going to do what I did with this stuff, which is just look at the animation. Oh, this isn't what have I done there. Okay. Okay. Egg nabbit. I'm sure there's others somewhere. So left, left, and then right, right. Okay. That way as well. SH. Oh. about that. So I've got to do the same as I did up here, which is get the tile reference. There we go. Right. Oh, look at that. Kind of a bit quick, but he's there, he's doing his thing. Cool. So, in theory, we could just check the pace counter, and if it's 0, we just let them walk off, and then once right underneath free, we let them drop. We set them the dropping frames. But I think we're going to leave it there because that's just hitting 11 now. Okay, we'll do a quick recap. Time's that. How long have we been going? 3 hours 32. Okay, so from scratch, this is where we're at. So we've got all the jumping kind of working. We've got the bombs, we've got the score. Got a high score in as well. Let's take a quick recap of the main parts, which is to say the player, because that's the main part. So, if you remember, let's just switch all these things off. This is our tile map. So we'll collide with anything that's not 0. Okay? The rest of it is just kind of, you know, fluff. And then you got the bombs that are all sprites, or instances. Each one's got an index attached to it so we can get the ordering right. Got the baddies. We use a special baddie, you know, walker spawn, so we can automatically fill up an index. So the sprite, we look at the tiles for where the sprite is. If there's nothing underneath us, then we start to fall. If there is, then if we're, let's see, so it's 0, falling Y, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so if you're not on a perfect boundary, you need another tile to the right to check. And then if they're all 0, you fall. Or you don't fall, sorry, that's you landing on a platform. That should be landing on a platform. In which case, you want to take away any pixels into the platform you are and clamp it up. Yes, my bomb jack for dummies just sitting over there. Same for going up. When you jump, you look for tiles above the character. If any aren't 0, then we stop the movement going up. We clamp it to just underneath so that it just whacks. And then gravity will kind of do it. Gravity is always applied. It's always falling, so it's always correcting and coming out of a platform. Just makes life easier, and it's not slow, so it really doesn't matter. And then same for X and Y. When you move left and right, we just check the walls to see if there's anything there, and then we clamp you back from the left or to the right, and that's it. And then this just does all the weird animations of jumping and stuff, depending on the direction you're going and how you're falling or jumping. Oh yeah, there's two different ways of doing hex. You can either do that, or you can also do dollar, which is the older kind of assembly way of doing it. This is obviously the C way. So I always wish you could do binary, you know, but you never really find a nice way of representing it. Binary would be good. I miss binary from assembler days. So what else have we got? Got the drawing, just does the score and the player. The collision, when you pick up a bomb, you check to see if it's already picked up, because it could be doing an animation of it dying and applying the score. Otherwise you set it, and then if it's the one that's got a fuse kind of going, then you set the animation for it finishing to the fuse, add a score, then you look for the next smallest index in sequence. So if you've picked them up out of order, it's kind of there. Yeah, PDS was nice. I mean, actually, the percent in front of things is always, assemblers have always done that. It's not just PDS. All assemblers kind of do binary like that, because you don't need that percent sign for anything else. Whereas in C and everything else, it's like a mod operator, so you can't use that, unfortunately. So it's a shame. And that's it, really. There's not much to it. And the bombs, you know, just it's not doing much. If there's a fused one, then it sets its animation to be a flickered fuse. And then the walker is like the player. It just moves in a direction and then checks the tiles under its feet. If it's at the edge, which is 2 blocks set and 1 block not, and it's on a boundary, then it'll flip. And then same for the other direction. We will extend this at some point to have a certain number of flips before it decides just to fall off the end. There is an animation for it appearing as well, I noticed, so we'll think about that at some point too. Excuse me. But for now, there you go, 3.5 hours? 3.5 hours work. Which, you know, it's pretty good. That's pretty much the core mechanic, really. You know, it's all about the kind of baddies. And we still have to do the big jump. You press up and you hold and you'll get right to the top. It's not that complicated. And then there is a what's the other one? The fizzes, the fuses can appear in different sequences as well. So we could do that. That's fairly straightforward too. I still think the scoring's stupid. But you can see there, you know, the platform stuff's all pretty solid. You're not going to fall through things or walk through things. It's fine. So there you go. So there you go. 3.5 hours. You've got almost a bomb that clone. So you have to get some of the baddies in. Most of them just home in on you, so it's pretty straightforward. He's actually the most complicated one, I think. So we'll see. Okay. Right, well, see you lovely people again once I pick this up, whenever that's going to be. Not sure when. I was just in the mood today, so I thought we'd give it a go. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me. I will shout out on the on Twitter or something when I'm doing it again, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.